Hey y'all, how's it going? My name's The Marker and welcome to another video for Rainbow Six Siege. Today I really wanted to talk about why this game has remained my favorite multiplayer experience for about a year now. I thought this video would be a great opportunity for me to celebrate all the great things I love about this game and maybe convince those who have not played the game to try it out. First and foremost is the game's seemingly infinite replayability, and this is very much attributed to the fact that every single match feels fresh and different. The game and its players are constantly evolving and adapting in such a way that practically forces every match to be unique. Seldom do you see anyone use the same exact tactic more than once. Not only do maps and game modes change, but teams change in terms of composure and strategy. I can play this game for hours and hours without ever getting bored, which puts it above other multiplayer shooters that I've played over the past year. For example, Overwatch, while a great game, I found to be very repetitive. Most people play the same heroes over and over again, and it's really just an endless cycle of rush and or defend the objective. Meanwhile, in Siege, there's so many operators that people love to use, making it more diverse and unpredictable. And while Siege still follows the same attack-defend formula, it does not force your hand as much because you have the option of simply eliminating all enemies. In essence, the no response system makes the stakes higher and makes players such as myself eager for another chance on the next round. Another game I played a lot this year and absolutely loved was Battlefield 1. I strongly believe Battlefield 1 did a lot of things right in their newest installment, especially since I had been waiting for another good World War game for literally years. However, after the initial hype during the first couple of weeks following the game's release, I found myself rather bored with the game after short periods of time playing it. I still have fun while I'm playing with it, don't get me wrong, but after one or two matches I already feel like I have exhausted my use for it and I want to move on to something else. Maybe this is because the matches are so long as opposed to the quick 4 or 5 minute rounds of Rainbow Six Siege. I just do not see the same replay value in Battlefield, just like I do not see it in Overwatch. These two games are fantastic FPS shooters, but I still find myself coming back to Siege when I want a more active and exciting gaming session. Another major factor that puts Siege ahead of the competition is how it handles DLC. For those of you who do not know, microtransactions in Rainbow Six Siege are absolutely optional, and in no way do they give you an unfair advantage over other players or provide any significant exclusive benefits. Really, the only upside to spending money in Siege is to increase your customization options and get a 1 week head start on trying the game's new operators. If you are patient and do not care about your character's appearance, you can enjoy the full experience of the game for no additional cost. I prefer this approach to DLC much more than that of Battlefield 1, for example. Right now, if you want to get the full Battlefield 1 experience, I'm talking maps, game modes, and more, you have to spend a whopping $50 for a premium pass. That is only $10 less than the actual game itself. Now, granted, it is a lot of content you are paying for, but still, personally, I think I'd rather allocate that money towards another game or something else. Speaking of content, Siege does a great job of giving its players frequent and fruitful updates. Their current strategy has them releasing 2 new operators and 1 new map every 3 months. And in between each major DLC, they have at least one major patch which they like to call a mid-season reinforcement. These mid-season reinforcements include major bug fixes, game additions, and most importantly, buffs and nerfs for some operators. This approach keeps us fans interested because it reassures us that the developers are actively listening to our comments, and we constantly know when we can expect new updates in the patches. We are getting a lot of content throughout the year, much more than, say, Overwatch, for example, which only added 2 heroes and 1 major map over the course of 2016. But I do gotta hand it to Overwatch for making their content absolutely free. I just wish there was more of it to go around. Siege has perfected the art of DLC and microtransactions, and I think many other games can learn from it. Last, but definitely not least, I just think that Rainbow Six Siege requires more skill and strategy than most other FPS games in recent memory. As I said earlier, every round feels fresh because there are infinite possibilities in terms of playing the game. To this day, new tactics are being found by the community, forcing players to find ways to counter them while remembering how to handle long-lasting techniques. There is so much going on in this game. You have the importance of audio cues, the reliance on destructibility, the changes in lighting, the necessity of communication and teamwork, choosing whether to rush or play it slow, choosing whether to camp or roam, choosing whether or not to peek a certain area, and of course choosing among the various operators who all have their strengths and weaknesses. This game is much more immersive and complex than many of its competitors. For example, while I love Overwatch and still play it a few times a week, I never found it to be all that engaging or skill-based. Really, being strategic in that game comes down to simply knowing when and where to activate your hero's ultimate ability. For me, Overwatch is that game to play when you just want to have fun. You do not even have to worry about using your microphone because communication is not all that important. Heck, even teamwork is not all that necessary. I've seen lots of great players that just act like a lone wolf and do their own thing. Battlefield also suffers from the lack of required skill. I think of Battlefield as a more passive and straightforward contest. There's nothing wrong with the game, it's just that when you have such a large scale, fast paced format, it's hard to sit down and really plan out your moves. Personally, I just like to rush objectives and rack up as many kills as possible to help my team win. And I think that is ultimately what this game comes down to, attacking objectives and killing enemies. No squad really necessary, no playbook really necessary. Just as they like to say, play the objective. Battlefield is a fantastic game. Overwatch is a great game. But when it comes down to strategy and competition, they do not compare it to Rainbow Six Siege. A win in Siege feels so rewarding each and every time because it is earned, whereas a win in those other games just feel like another day at the office. So these are just 3 reasons why I love and play Siege so much. It never gets too dull or boring. It has frequent, exciting, and most importantly, free DLC, and it is the most challenging and involved multiplayer experience, in my opinion. Of course, this is all just my opinion, like I said, and in no way am I saying objectively that Siege is the best game out right now. It is simply the one I enjoy the most. In case you're wondering, I haven't really played other FPS games this year such as Titanfall 2 or Infinite Warfare, so who knows, maybe I would find those games more enjoyable. Now I want to hear what you guys think. Is Rainbow Six Siege your favorite game right now? Do you agree with some points in this video but still prefer another game such as Overwatch or Battlefield? Do you absolutely disagree and think Siege is nowhere near your favorite multiplayer game? Go ahead and drop your comments down below. That's all there is for this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to like and subscribe, and see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.